Alright guys, well I've done it. I've made it to the third day. Today's gonna be the shortest day, but I still got a lot to do. There's a few smaller panels that I'm gonna be going to. See, I think the first one's gonna be discussing like supernatural writing and stuff. Again, it just sounds kind of interesting. Then I'm gonna go to a Planet of the Apes Q&A. Then I have my professional photo op with Ashley Eckstein. Then I'm going to the Voicing Your Dreams panel with Ashley Eckstein and Brett Iwan, the voice of Mickey. And then I'm finishing off with another smaller panel talking about the role of politics and comics. I think there's supposed to be a lot of Captain America discussion involved in that, so that's going to be fun. So yeah, should be a fun day.
That comes with, you have to have personality to go with this. All right, give her a nice round of applause. All right, let's see the judges. Number 15.
J and the end of aisles I and H. It's an end cap right here on the vendor floor.
Alright, I'm finally back home for the last day of Pensacon. I think I'm gonna post 3 videos, one for each day, since they get kind of long, and quite frankly, I feel like they're kind of boring. But I still want to get it out there, if nothing else, so I have a way of remembering it. But yeah, the light's flickering a bit, sorry about that. Thomas is here. So the first thing that I did was I went to a panel discussing like angels and demons and like religious folklore and mythology, and their don't sniff that, Thomas. You sniff my water bottle. Like folklore, mythology, religious influences on like writing and pop culture and such. And it's very interesting. The guy was, very scholarly type of thing. He's like the chief editor of some, Thomas is writing on the camera, some independent comic company. Wish I could remember the name of it. It wasn't one of the, quote, big independent companies. Like, it wasn't, damn, I forgot the name of the Image Comics or, sorry, I've been kind of out of the loop with comics a little bit. Image was the main independent one that I somewhat kept up with, but, it wasn't one of the ones that I recognized, at least. But yeah, he mainly went over a story, wasn't actually from the Bible, but it was like, or, can't remember, the Torah, or, it wasn't from like a, quote, holy book, but, it was a Jewish legend about Abraham, because, like, the Jews have a lot of, like, kind of non-canon, I guess you'd say, stories of their figures, but either way, it's like this story of the death of Abraham, and like how before that the angel Michael like took him on a journey of the world and the journey of afterlife, and like how Abraham like saw a lot of like evil in the world and ordered God to kill a bunch of people, so he did, and then he saw that because of that they were going to hell, and then he begged God to like undo it so they could have a chance to go to heaven and stuff. And yeah, I kind of went over that, and how that elements of that inspire a lot of pop culture stories. I think he thought he had more time than he actually did. I kind of feel like he somewhat rushed through it and had to cut short, because like he gave out this handout that kind of has a summary of that, and has a summary of some other stories, like some stuff from the Book of Enoch. I was actually very religious at one point in time, and actually was considering going into ministry, but then I kind of eventually I realized that none of it really made sense. I mean, the more I learned about it, the less that it really made sense to me, so I kind of fell out of that. But, you know, I'm still very fascinated by a lot of, you know, religious stories and such. Then after that, I went to a Planet of the Apes Q&A with Lou Wagner. My mind's slipping the name of his character. I know his character, I just can't remember the name of it, but it was the, quote, hippie ape from the original Planet of the Apes, and they had another guy who was from Battle of the Planet of the Apes, but I can't remember the name of the actor or his character. It was pretty interesting. You know, they're both a lot older. Lou Wagner seemed pretty articulate for his age. The other guy, he wasn't speaking into the microphone, so it's kind of hard to hear him. And for some reason, they cut that panel short, like 15 minutes. I have a 50-50 feeling about it, because, you know, it would have been nice to have been able to, you know, hear more of their stories, but like I had an hour to get back to the Bay Center, and I don't like taking the buses because in my experience it actually takes longer, but it was like about a mile away, so, you know, about, you know, 20-minute walk, but, you know, it was around lunchtime. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to eat lunch in time for my photo op at the Bay Center, but, you know, I felt a lot more confident about getting lunch before that, so I did not have to go hungry today, so yay. But yeah, I did get a professional photo op with Ashley Eckstein. They didn't have the barrier up this time. I think they leave it up to the celebrities whether or not they want to use the barrier or not. Zach Galligan wanted to use the barrier. Ashley Eckstein was fine with not using it, so I am glad I did this. You know, I did get the booth photo. That's on my phone. I got an actual physical copy of this. I know I could, you know, I've never got physical copies made of any of my photos on my phone. I know there's a way I can do it. I'm just kind of too lazy and I don't really care to do that. But, you know, it's nice to kind of have both now. So that's good. Then after that, I walked over for Ashley Eckstein's panel with Brett Iwan, who was the voice of Mickey Mouse. They're going around, I believe this is actually their first con. Well, I'd say it almost certainly is, just because there haven't been very many cons lately. But they're taking a panel around a cons called Voicing Your Dreams, which is basically like, you know, how they just kind of go through and, you know, tell, like, you know, how they got to do what they are doing. And it's pretty fascinating. It is kind of an interesting pairing. I know they're like best buddies in real life. But yeah, I don't think they've actually done anything like together, like in film or in television. But still, it's pretty neat to hear their stories. Then after that was my last panel that I went to. It was a panel about like left versus right and politics and comic books. And the guy running it, you know, he had a good balanced opinion. Like, you know, he openly said that he did identify as a liberal, but he also felt that like the more conservative opinions have been underrepresented in comics as of lately. There was a little bit of a discussion about Civil War, you know, the Captain America versus Iron Man Marvel event. And I'm talking more about the comic more than the movie. I did like the movie, but the comic was a really big, is a very important read for me. Big reason why I became such a huge Captain America fan. But, you know, lots of other things, you know, a lot of which I'm somewhat less familiar with. Like, apparently there's like a Justice Society America issue where like there's some League, some like political group that's like questioning their citizenship, and apparently Wonder Woman was being questioned if she was a communist, and other things like that. So it was a pretty interesting panel. That was good. But yeah, my favorite non-celebrity panel, that was that supernatural / religious discussion on pop culture. That was pretty fascinating. But yeah, so Comic-Con's officially over. I forgot to show you, but I did have a little bit more time to go on the vendor floor today, and actually picked up some pens. None of these have markings as for who made them. I think at least 2 of these I've actually seen before, so I could probably eventually find out who made these, but I don't know for sure. But I have a blue spiny shell that says "fuck you," so that's pretty funny, from Mario Kart games. Then I have a Misfits bat, because I love the Misfits, and it's been an unusually long time since I've got a music pen, I feel like. And lastly, I got a It pen with the SS Georgie and a boat chained together. I love chain pens, so yeah, that's the official end of my Pensacon vlogs, because I'll probably be splitting these up. So yeah, don't know what's gonna be happening next. Actually, I might be going to a fireworks show, so I might film that for my channel. So yeah, I'll see you whenever my next video is.